Thanks for sticking with us here on the center of it all. You know, we all have an adventurous spirit. For some, though, that spirit burns a little bit brighter. Steve Jury just happens to be one of those people. And he's not only about to embark on an adventure, but a mission to Africa as well.
It's spurred by 2 years ago when I went to Kenya with Compassion, and one of the leaders stayed afterwards and climbed Kilimanjaro, and he said it was an amazing experience, and he said the one thing he missed was doing it with a group. And I told him, I sent emails to him several times. I said, let me know if they do it again. Sure enough, earlier this year he said, we're getting ready to do one, and I said, sign me up.
Steve Jury of State College and a group of volunteers from Compassion International will be making the trip of a lifetime in May to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Prior to the climb, he and his friends will tackle a big problem facing the children of Tanzania.
We're going to visit a couple communities where, one, we're raising money to drill a well, because they're in areas that they don't even have access to dirty water. They can't even walk 5-10 miles to get even just nasty, clean, water. So we're going to help to drill a well there.
While they provide vital access to clean drinking water, the group also plans to create more sanitary living conditions.
There's one latrine for 125 kids. Government standard there is 1 for 20. And of course, with so many kids in one latrine, there's a lot of waiting with that and a lot of disease. Facilities aren't, hygiene, they're not clean. So when all is said and done, it's going to be 1 to 20. There's going to be a lot less risk of disease, and kids are just going to be able to worry about other things instead of worry about, am I going to get sick?
Jury works at Victory Sports and Fitness in State College and sponsors 2 of Compassion International's 1.7 million children worldwide. And he credits the organization with profoundly impacting his life.
It's a way for somebody to impact another person's life in a far-off country. What I do as a career as a fitness professional, I love what I do. I've been doing it for over 20 years. But I tell people that compassion is why I'm here. It's not just a ministry to me, it's my life. I love telling people about it, I love sharing about it, and the difference it makes in somebody else's life. I mean, it's being I was able to see firsthand 2 years ago the conditions those people were in. It broke my heart in a way, because we take for granted clean water, for example, different things like that. We take for granted shelter, different things like that, where some people don't even have access to that, and they have very little, but yet they're very happy with what they do have, because they don't know what they don't have.
Once the work is complete, the group will then begin their trek. At 19,330 feet, Kilimanjaro is the world's largest freestanding mountain, and Jury is putting in a lot of work to prepare for the climb.
The nice thing about living in Center County is we have access to a lot of good hiking trails. Obviously, Mount Nittany, Shingletown Gap, Indian Steps, Thousand Steps. I'm going to start going up and down Nittany probably 3 or 4 times at a clip. One of the crazier things I've done in here, one day I did 500 yards of walking lunges. Took me about 45 minutes. And yeah, I was able to walk the next day. And the training, it's just really more endurance than strength.
Due to the frigid temperatures, Jury and his companions will only be able to spend about 15 minutes at the summit. However, he hasn't allowed himself to think about that moment.
Not yet, but I'm sure, like a friend of mine who's one of the guides, or one of the leaders of the trip this year, Bobby Claypool, he said it was unlike anything. You can't imagine it. I mean, it's just like I went to Kenya 2 years ago. You see pictures, you just can't imagine. And because going on some of the peaks around here, which 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet, whatever. I mean, imagining 18 more thousand feet. That's hard to imagine. Yeah.